you rather be invisible or have the power of aliens?
Invisible.
Why?
Sneak into the girl's locker room. I mean, what if animals only looked up to them?
Yeah, but what if they were all like Mr. Ed?
And what if they all turned out to be like Bob?
Well, you never know. Bob could be as smart as Mr. Peabody.
Well, master of tennis.
He could be.
Honey, he barely knows how to work the VCO.
Spend Christmas night with Nick at Night and join us for featuring gift-giving and company.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook on Double Hook Angling, on both. So we're just tying jigs and coffee morning. You know how it goes. Catfish Fever, Smokey, Ernie. So we do a few sapphire blues while we're doing things up here. Been a busy week. Been a busy couple weeks actually with the holiday and stuff. So a lot of church things going on right now. Facebook always wants to give you a slow connection. Had some white feathers. Oh, they went down on the ground. There ain't. There is not very many good ones left in that. Let's save those for some small jigs. I got things spread everywhere. And hey, Lisa, Rick, Tim. So I got all these boxes and totes, you know. I went and worked out this morning. My arms are sore. So we have a Christian gym here in town, and do a little prayer first, and then they set the workout. So they've been modifying it for the dude in the wheelchair, you know, because they do a lot of squats and backs and stuff like that. Well, you know, I'm not doing all that, and then I grabbed the marabou. But I've been working out and doing all that again. But also I've been carnivore for 2 weeks, so we're doing that whole thing. Now there's going to be a lot of people say, don't do it. But you know what? The last few days I felt better than I ever have. So these white, I'm going to tell you, white anymore is not very good white. Like, it's all tanned out, and that's the way all 4 of them packages are, or 5 packages, I guess, are all, they're like a natural white. They're not bleached out. And I don't have any more white, so we will just have to go with that until I can get some. I ordered white, and they did not send, I mean, they sent white, but they sent natural white. They didn't send the fluorescent or the bleached out or whatever you want to call it. So, but if you can kind of see right here, I went to Harbor Freight and got them stackable boxes. YouTube can't see them very well, but there you go. Went and got those, so I'm going to start putting all my jig stuff in there because I'm starting to do shows and things like that to where I need to take everything with me. And matter of fact, if everything works out right, we've already set the date, but we're going to try to get a little, I guess you want to call it a little seminar type thing going. There'll be more about that to come this week. We got to finalize details today, but the plan is being at Bass Pro this next week, tying in the store. So these feathers, I'm gonna tell you anymore, these feathers are just, man, it's a struggle. Like, well, those are like for, I mean, those would be good feathers for like 64th ounce and 80th ounce, but they're not good for 16ths and 8ths. I guess I didn't. Yeah, see that? Them things are just spindly. But anyways, you know, we've been doing a lot of stuff with the new church we're going to, so that's been a blessing in itself. Meeting a lot of new people, and the boys are really enjoying it. Gregory's really enjoying it. Gregory enjoys going on Wednesday nights because Wednesday nights, hey, Kansas Chad, I met your cousin yesterday. I think he's your cousin. He got some jigs and stuff. Met up with him in Wichita. I think that's what he said, was he was your cousin. Yeah, I know, Rick. You've been doing carnivore. I did a lot of looking into the carnivore and did the research and stuff. And the biggest reason why people don't lose weight on carnivore is they cheat. They're not doing it proper enough. So they've even got a book that you can fill out a deal telling them all about yourself, and then they'll make a book that is written to you, you know, a diet plan basically for 90 days or something like that. But I've done enough research and everything, so I know what to do. So I eat eggs and a couple pieces of bacon or eggs and sausage in the morning. And then for lunch, I eat some hamburger or ground chuck or ground ribeye or deer. Like I got 2 deers in the fridge now. My son got 2 does so far, and then eat, you know, a couple hard-boiled eggs and some cheese with that, some hard cheese. And then for dinner, I eat basically the same thing, meat again, but I eat an avocado with that. And then I'm eating, you know, some butter and stuff. Now, I'm not getting crazy on the butter like what they say. You can, you know, like some guys are eating a half a stick of butter for, you know, with lunch or dinner. And yeah, I'm not going that far. I'm keeping the butter pretty light. So I use a lot of avocado oil. So I use avocado oil to cook my eggs if I don't use, you know, the bacon or the sausage. But the sausage is my own ground sausage from wild hogs. So, you know, I'm not getting none of that, you know, mass produced pork. So, which is, I mean, it's all good. We're doing what I believe is proper, but also I watch this cardiologist that is on YouTube. We can't afford that kind of eating. We, as such, been not eating as much. Well, that's okay too, Ernie. Not carnivore is not for everybody, and actually, certain body types or certain people can't do carnivore. So, but yeah, but I have a son that loves to hunt, so I have a big 24 cubic foot freezer that is half full of wild game. So whether it's, but also I'll eat. I love pigeon wrapped in bacon. He'll bring me some quail, some doves, some pheasant. You know, I've got a bag of pheasant in there now, but I have probably 50 pounds of wild hog, and then there's so many deer here. We're allowed to shoot 6 a year per person, so on the deer. And then he goes down to Oklahoma for the wild hogs. So wild hogs down in Oklahoma, they're free game. So if you got a hunting license, you shoot all you want. They don't care. They want them gone. Kansas is such dorks. They went and they protected the wild hogs. You can't shoot wild hogs here in Kansas now. If that was the case, my son would be going down to Medicine Lodge and shooting a bunch of wild hogs because there's a whole bunch down there in Kiowa County. Now, I am on TikTok mode or whatever you want to call it, vertical mode, so I may not catch all the chitter chatter. Yeah, but you also don't want to eat an excess of meat. You don't want to eat too much. You just get gouty. But also, with that being said, I do take 1,000 milligram vitamin C every morning. I do vitamin D for my bone problems and stuff like that. So. Morning, Kelly, on Facebook. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of research on all that stuff. So, and I've dropped some more weight in the last couple weeks. But like I said, I watched this cardiologist on YouTube, and he's been carnivore for 15 years. So, if a cardiologist is doing it and telling you how to do it, then you know you're doing it proper. You're not going to kill yourself. Hey, Rod. Yeah, I know. That's the thing, Rod. Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, they want them gone because they're tearing up everything. Kansas is like, oh, they're not that many. It's okay. But yet you ask the farmers down there around Kiowa, they'll be like, yeah, we want them gone too. So I really don't like this white, but when you pair it with the darker colors in the front, it's not so bad. I suppose that natural white is okay as well because once you get it in the water, most of the water is dirty enough that it's going to change color anyways. Hey, Keith. How you doing? That one seemed like it was a little long. Unwind that and reposition that. There we go. That looks better. But everybody do your own thing. You eat how you want to eat. I've lost almost 60 pounds, so I tell you what, I can push this. I got a new wheelchair too, so my new wheelchair is orange. I finally got it. I'm sitting in it right now. That's why I probably seem a little taller. No. But it's orange like my shirt is. It's pretty cool. Everybody seems to like it. I don't normally like to cut the end, but that one was sticking out there so far. They had like 3 hairs sticking out there, driving me nuts. Yeah, these feathers, I'm just not a fan. They're not very good. And I have to make an order from Wapsie before too long. Anyways, my stock is getting kind of low. I'm so picky with feathers, I throw probably half of them away. Yeah, I don't really have much issues with my back because I'm sitting in the chair. It's when I try to stand and stuff like that was when I have my back issues. I mean, my back does hurt sometimes, but that's usually when I'm bent over working on a car or sitting on the ground, working on a car or, just sitting on the ground in general. Sep Cup. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, probably butchering that, but howdy. But yeah, my new wheelchair is orange, so I don't know how well y'all could see. No, here I'll give you a little glimpse real quick of it. So there you go. Now if I can get these back up here where they belong. That's good enough. But yeah, it's I'm a lot more comfortable, let's put it that way. My just the new chair, I mean, does help with my back because this one's all adjusted to me properly. But yeah, I'm actually, it's going to be warm enough today. Last few days it's been pretty cold, and there was some ice in the corners of the ponds and stuff in the lake. The lake's not so much as the pond, but I mean there was just a little bit in the corner of the lake. Hey James, welcome in, brother. But yeah, there's a little bit of ice around the corners of some of the lakes and ponds and stuff, but the pond's really bad. If the pond is an open pasture, some of them were almost half frozen over. But today is supposed to be pretty warm, and I'm going to go out, and me and Greg are going to go see if we can catch some crappie today. So we'll see how that goes. If we do get out there, I may go live while I'm out there. Just depends on, sometimes it's weird because where I go fishing at the lease, sometimes I have signal and sometimes I don't. So there's another one. What we're going to do is we're going to tie 3 of one color and then we'll switch so you guys aren't just staring at the same color every time. But if I get out and go fishing, I don't know, like I said, sometimes the signal just is junk, and then sometimes the signal's good. So if the signal's good, I'll probably go live. If not, I'm going to I need to charge the batteries up on the GoPro this morning, and we'll get those. What is the biggest fish I ever caught? The biggest fish I ever caught was 68 pounds, but I was a kid, so it was a flathead down in Texas. And in recent years, probably 10-pound channel cat, but I've mostly fished for bluegill and crappie. So I'm not after giants. I'm after eaters. So on this channel, you'll find that we like small fish because we like quantity over size. Now in our area, we do have some big fish. We can go to Cheney Reservoir and we can catch some big fish out there, but usually you got to get out on the boat. And my boat does hurt my back pretty bad, so. But the crappie that we catch, usually the crappie we catch are between 1 pound and 2 pounds, because we do have places where we have some pretty good sized crappie. So crappie that are 12 to 15 inches. Every once in a while we'll get a 16-incher. And the biggest crappie I've caught is 18 inches, and it was almost 4 pounds. Well, just right, a little over 4 pounds, but the scale was a spring scale, so those aren't very trustworthy. You kind of know how that goes. But lately, I've just been tying jigs, so, whoops, that one I didn't get clipped very well. But like I said, the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty cold. And then I've had other things that I've had to do, so working on some vehicles for some people and stuff, the church family and what have you. I don't charge as much working on a vehicle as other people do, so I do get quite a bit coming in sometimes, and then we'll go months without anything, and then all of a sudden you get 2 or 3 people that want to have you work on their vehicle in the same week. So we try not to live out of our means. With this business, though, I am a little bit in credit card debt, so just kind of how it goes. I'm working to get out of it, though. It's not like I'm thousands and thousands of dollars in debt, but I need more people to buy more jigs, so I'll I have a box. So this box right here is the box that I've been filling up, and right now there's a, we'll pull out, like, this is 1 row's worth, so there's plenty of jigs to be had. The on jigs, my shipping is $10 to $12 depending on how many you get. So if you're wanting some jigs, you just have to message me on Facebook, which is easy enough to find me. Just look for Double Hook Angling on Facebook, and you'll find me, and you can message me through there. Or if you have my personal page, which some of y'all do have my personal page, but I'm going to post more family and church stuff on the personal page, and then I'm going to try to keep all my jig tying and stuff on the Double Hook Angling page. I got to keep them separate. So, I mean, it just, some of those things, you get too involved with posting stuff on one or the other, and it just doesn't work out well as far as social media wise. So, and then Naomi's making 2 pies today, 2 pecan pies for the church, so she'll be busy doing that. Hey Aaron, what's up? Another local fella. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hopefully God has blessed everybody in here, and if not, then hopefully you seek him so he can bless you. It is that time of year. It's kind of crazy. Everybody thinks of Santa Claus this time of year, but that's not what Christmas is really about. Coca-Cola needed to sell some more soda pop, so back 100 plus years ago they come up with the idea of Santa Claus. So if you didn't know that little tidbit. So now we're going to switch colors, which means I need to switch threads. Where did my green go? It's right there behind the phone. So my camera quality on my computer is not doing too well. My microphone keeps having issues. Hey, dog and I. Old Curtis. 2.0 is what some people call him. I just say courtesy. But yeah, so we have the Wichita Boat Show coming up in February, and I will be there at that. So that will be a fun event to go to. What did I do with my chartreuse? Ain't much left there, but we can get 3 jigs out of that. I got feathers and everything spread everywhere. I'm not very tidy. My wife gets growly at me sometimes. Says, clean up your mess. I was like, well, if I did that, I wouldn't know where nothing's at. At least it's all within a 3-foot area, so it's not like spread all over the house. Sometimes these feathers get blowed all over the house, so the dog's running through here, kids running through here. That kind of a deal. But yeah, I need to start recording some more on GoPro when we go out, so we start doing some more edited videos. I've had a few people lately go, you ain't putting out no videos. Well, I know, and I apologize for that, but I'm trying. Probably end up doing some more lives too. I mean, it is winter, so fishing gets a little rougher during the winter. But that's also when we catch some of our bigger fish. And, like I said, 2-pound, 3-pound crappie. been a few years since I've caught a 3-pounder, but we caught plenty of 2s in the last year and a half. That needs some more feather on it as well. But going to the gym's been the biggest, that in the church. But like I said, I go to a Christian gym, so it, a little prayer at the beginning, and work out with some, mostly it's ladies. So I mean, there's some great gals in there, and everybody's respectful and stuff, and you don't have to worry about anybody harassing you or arguing over the equipment and stuff, because everybody kind of just it's a structured class basically, so you're listening to the trainer and all that, but they have done some adapted development with me, so I'm not, of course, not able to do squats and things like that being in the wheelchair, but them girls and guys that train the class, they have done real good about coming up with some things for me to do while the others are doing squats and what have you. Like today, we did. They set up the rings up high, and I'll pull myself up to a stand. My shoulders and my biceps are really getting kind of sore, and I mean they are right now too, for sure, after working out this morning. So I did 10 pull-ups basically using rings, and I did 5 sets of those. So, and that is, when you can't stand and use your legs, basically you're doing a pull-up and stuff. But I'm not bragging, but I got, my arms are not, I mean, it doesn't really show up on the camera well, but and I can't flex very hard right now because of the being sore, but I have 16-inch biceps, so I got big enough arms, and they'll just grow over the next year. So I'm gonna lift weights and stuff for at least a year, or do the exercising and stuff for at least a year. I'll probably keep doing it after that, but I will focus more on cardio. I'm doing cardio as well too. So here's for the YouTube and then for the Facebook. So I'm doing more cardio as well. So got to keep my ticker going, get that workout. Hi, Shirley. I don't know if I said hi to you or not. I hear what Naomi's watching in the background. Hopefully y'all can't hear it. I don't want to get in trouble by either YouTube or Facebook, but she's watching Hazel. It's a show from the 50s or early 60s, I believe. And they're doing the Christmas one, of course. Got little pieces of feather flying everywhere. But yeah, hopefully we can get out this afternoon after it warms up a little bit and go catch some crappie. And then that green is just running low pretty bad. I don't know if I got any more in that bag. Oh, there's some right there. Fishermen, welcome in. How you doing? Boy, that feather just looks awful. Like I said, I mean, they must have some scruffy chickens that they're harvesting.
Shopkeepers, and welders. And an average IQ of 90 is generally associated with manual jobs such as gardening, labor, and factory work. So basically, it has been proven that your IQ is directly related to your career and job.
Hey, Avid. I didn't see the name, but I see somebody saying hi to Avid. Oh, yeah, that's Fishers and Men, Avid. I forgot. People keep changing channels on me. I forget. I got gray hair, man. That's my issue. That's my claim. I'm sticking to it.
Everybody going. Oh, okay. How may I serve you, madam? I'd like to see some white kid gloves, size 5.5. Oh, sure. We got some doozies. How do you like them? Oh, the poor little man.
So hopefully everybody had a good turkey day last week. We missed Friday because we had things going on. So we didn't do a jigs and coffee Friday last week. Thrift store was closed and stuff, so Gregory didn't get no fines. They're at the thrift store now, so hopefully they'll find some good stuff and we'll be able to do a What You Got Gregory segment when he gets home.
Some man with some sporting goods forgot it. I ran after him, but he was just driving off in his panel truck. No, but you must. He must be a terrific customer. I saw him go out with an elevation and a typewriter. I held the door open for him. I knew you'd want to get to him, so I wrote down his license number.
Wrote down his license number?
Sure, it's right there on the cover.
Wonderful. I'll call the police.
Yeah, that's the kind of service we give at Masterson.
But yeah, if we get to go out this afternoon, we might be able to bass fishing 336. Welcome in. Yeah, if we get to go out this afternoon, maybe we will have good enough service we can go live. But if not, like I said, we'll get what we get on GoPro and be able to get some of that edited. Been talking to some people about, they've been saying they've been missing it, basically, the edited videos. I guess they're getting tired of the lives. Just see me tying jigs every week is, for some people, gets mundane, I guess. But I sit here and tie jigs, and I thought about going live more often during the week, but I'm just tying jigs, so I'm doing the same thing I'm doing right now. I guess it's just giving a place for people to come and visit other people for the most part. Let's put a little bit more in that. These feathers, like I said, they're kind of a little thin. I hate using them. It's like that one is so thin. That's a good one for some 164. So I need to pour up some 164ths and 180th. Do 180ths on size 10 hook and 164ths. Do them on a size 8 or a 6. Get them going so we can have some smaller jigs to do for winter. But like I said, the Wichita Boat Show is coming up in February, so I gotta get tying. But today I'm kind of slow because, like I said, my arms are kind of sore. Not only did I do them ring pull-ups to a stand, and I was pulling them to where I was standing myself up out of my chair. It wasn't just like I was pulling rings, you know. Then do kettlebells, dumbbells, and bend clear over, and basically kind of a back exercise, working out my back, and then taking the dumbbell and go down to my side and then go like this and then up in the air like that and then come back down and just sit there and keep doing that thing. So, but I'm still over 200 pounds, so but I'm getting there. Maybe in another month I will get the weight down below 200. I don't have the big apron around my belly no more. That's the best thing about it. All right, so now we did 3 of those. Let's switch over to we'll do this one. I still got some black feathers out. So this one I call Black Widow. That last one was Prime Time Lime. It's just a green sour truce jig. This one is called the Black Widow. So hence red. It'll have a red head and a black body. NJ's up. He must be fishing. He's always fishing. He's got a pretty good following now. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of all you guys that have done real good on YouTube and stuff. So, or Facebook or whatever your social media that you've grown your channels on. We all got to work together and share each other out and kind of doing that thing and promote each other's channels and stuff. And I'm grateful to those that have posted mine or reposted my stuff or told others to go watch and follow me. It makes me feel good that y'all want to see that, see me and share my stuff out. So, of course, Ernest River Rat 3030, he's one of the ones that really support a lot of other people, a lot of other fishermen, and he wants to share out everybody's stuff, when they post. So he's a real good guy. But I mean, there's some of the others that do the same. It's just right now off the top of my head, I can't think. I just remember Ernest because he did it for me yesterday. But my son has passed the paramedic classes and stuff. Now all he's got is his federal exam, which he took a practice test and did a real good on that. So he's not worried about it too much, and neither am I. But my son will soon be a fully licensed paramedic. So not just a firefighter EMT anymore, but now it'll be a fighter EMT paramedic. Get it all said. Oh, Bob. But he's also he's got some things in his life, some changes coming in his life. With that being said, him and his girlfriend are getting pretty serious, and they're talking about marriage and stuff like that. So keep him in your prayers on that. She's a great gal, and she's really nice, and she is actually a doctor. So she's a doctor of physical therapy. She does have her doctorate, so that's great. Yeah. So, and she's really got turned on to hunting with him. So, like my Tim is a really avid hunter. He gets a nice big buck every year. Some years 14, 16 point bucks, and one year he got it was a couple years ago, or last year I think he got one that was over 300 pounds. Big old buck. He was an older boy, the buck was probably 6, 7 years old. But yeah, so he does pretty good at hunting, and with hunting, you know how it is the more you get out there and set, the better chances you got. So he's been setting almost every day he has off, and in the mornings and in the evenings. So the other night he come walking in the door unannounced. He just blurred open the door. So he was like uh, had the tote in his hand because he field dresses the deer. So he brings in this tote full of meat with two hind legs sticking out of it. And of course the dogs were going nuts. And then he set it on the counter. And Rosie, she gets up there, and so here's that black widow if you guys want to look at it. So Rosie gets up there and starts eyeballing that deer. And she was wanting some. So when we were trimming some of the silver skin and stuff off, getting it ready to go out in the refrigerator for a while, because we put it in the refrigerator for a couple days, let the enzymes in the blood kind of come out of it, and versus hanging it. Our deer around here are so healthy and so grain fed and plenty to eat that they just the meat doesn't take long, a few days, and we're good. And then I'll grind up a lot of it into burger, and I don't put any fat in it. I just do straight deer grind, but that's how we like it. So all natural. I figured if you're supposed to put pork or beef tallow or pork fat in there, then God would have had them mating with pigs and cows. So but also I'm gonna make some deer crack. So the which is unseasoned jerky. So just the only thing they'll be on it, salt and pepper. And I don't marinate it or nothing like that. I have done that, and I usually do that, but since I'm eating carnivore, I'm not using the soy sauce or the Worcestershire sauce. And Worcestershire, however you say it, Worcestershire. I'm not using any of that to cure the meat. I'm just, straight out and then stick it in the dehydrator for 8 or so hours, and it's good stuff. So, but it gets, when you do that, it don't have much moisture in it, so it that's why I call it deer crack, is because when you can actually break it and it'll crack. But I don't do too much of it that way. I might do a back strap or a piece of rump out of it or something, like off the hind leg. The back straps I usually like to just smoke them and just have smoked back straps. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to have tonight if I don't do this. I got 2 steaks that's been in the fridge for a few days. And I usually age my meat out. Like, so if I buy a steak, I'll put it in the refrigerator for 3 to 10 days, and just let it set in there. And it may turn a little bit off colored or whatever, but it basically starts to break down, and the enzymes tenderize it naturally. So you can even take a piece of round steak that's kind of tough and stick it in your fridge for a week and just let it do its thing, and it'll soften up quite a bit. I mean, if you go to a restaurants usually are using 21 to 45 day aged meat, so that's why restaurant steaks are so tender, because they let it age for so long. It's also why they taste a little bit different than fresh steaks that you get from the grocery store. People don't realize that anymore. In this culture of ours, we have lost our old ways of eating of the past, to where, like going to the butcher shop. Now everybody goes to Wally World or Kroger or Dillon's or whatever and just buys meat and eats it that night. So, I mean, that's fine to do and all, but it's not as good. Hey, Brian Jack. Hello to you. Welcome in. But like I was saying about church, we got we're having the old church that we was going to is changing pastors, and they believe in some of that weird stuff that I don't agree with, some of the modern points of view. So we've been going back to a church we used to go to a long time ago down south. It's called Cornerstone. We really love that church. Everybody there is super friendly and things like that. So there's another one. But yeah, everybody's super friendly down there, and if you miss one day, they're calling you going, hey, where you at? Why didn't you make it? Oh, I already got one of those out. So makes you feel good when people miss you, getting involved in some fellowship and stuff. But we go down there on Wednesdays and Saturday. Sometimes they have things going the other days of the week where they need help doing something, or cleaning the church, or doing just setting up the church for Christmas holiday and stuff. We went down there and did a bunch of lights and things like that. Kansas Chad, I had a baby girl Wednesday, bringing her home today, hoping to finish and outdoors, or fishing and outdoors. You had a baby girl? That's awesome, dude. Hopefully meaning that you actually had a baby girl. And I'm not misunderstanding what you're saying, but that's awesome, dude. We had a couple girls. We had a set of twins that Naomi miscarried, and they were girls. Then we had a baby girl that was stillborn at 8 months, and then we had Matt, Greg, and Tim. So we were blessed with 3 boys that made it into this world, and Matthew just about didn't. He was breached with the cord wrapped around his neck, and so they went ahead and did a C-section and took him that way. And when they got in there to pull him out, he'd turned back around and unwrapped the cord around his neck. So we were blessed that he made it. And then, of course, we had Gregory 13 months later. So I guess they call that Irish twins. And then we had Timothy a couple years later. Timothy's our youngest baby. So he's 26 now, though, so it seems like a long time ago. But losing a child is rough on you. I don't care if you're it's probably rougher on you being a mom, but being a dad is pretty rough as well. So I think more so because you're dealing with the emotions of your wife that just lost a child. And we would have had more children, except for Naomi got some cancerous stuff in her uterus, and they had to take that. Okay, I'm located in Kingman, Kansas. So down very, south part center of Kansas. And this is a Renzetti vise. So this is a weighted bottom Renzetti vise. So it's a travel vise. So they're not cheap. They're a few $100. So I got this one on a good deal. Of course, I bought this one 20 years ago. 20 years ago, it cost me probably $200, but now they're like $350, I think. Yeah, sorry for that, Chad. It happens. God takes them home for a reason. We just got to understand that, it's His will, and sometimes He takes our children early. Maybe they were going to have issues in life or something that he didn't want them to suffer through or something. That's just kind of how we think of it. So everybody thinks of it differently. We just believe that God had other plans and needed an extra angel up there. But I had a rough childhood. My dad is my adopted father, and he married my mother, and he was when we were young. He provided for us. Don't get me wrong. We always, we ate and we had a roof over our head and things like that. But he was gone for months at a time, and then when he'd come home, he'd decide that we all just needed beatings for all the things we did bad when he was gone. And I'm not talking just whoopings. I'm talking actual beatings. Closed fist, punched, and things like that. So it was kind of rough. And now, I have forgiven him. I forgave him a long time ago. Once I became an adult, about 17 or 18, I moved out when I was 16, and lived on my own for a while. Come back, home a couple times, but just moved right back out and stuff like that. I forgave him when I was a young man, and then I actually included him in my life quite a bit from about 21 or so on. And then he was fine when you're an adult. It's just he wasn't real good with kids. Let's put it that way. Let's pick another color. Let's do some classic, what I call my OG classic. So pink head, black body, Saratruse tail kind of thing. But yeah, dad was, after that, Dad was a good man. He treated the grandkids great, but he had some things in his life that he was dealing with as well. He was a roofer, so he fell into that whole, roofing, stereotypical, stuff. So dope and things like that. Dope will mess you up quite a bit. And I'm talking hard dope, not just weed. Yeah, Bob says God has everyone's name in his book with a date and time of your departure to help make heaven better and the future arrivals. Yep, that's right. He knows all, and from the beginning of time to the end of time, he knows all. He's like he said, like they say, he's all knowing. He knows everything we're going to do, have done, will do, all that. So let me, I cut in the wrong feather up. I got sidetracked reading that. I have a cheap rotary vise, but looking for a good beginner rotary vise. Yeah, well, Renzetti is a fairly expensive vise, so you may not want to start with that. But if you do, I'll tell you what, you'll have it for your entire life. Yes, you can hear that Gregory's home, so it's what you got Gregory time as soon as he gets figured out what he's doing over there. So if y'all are new here, my son is Gregory. He's the other half of Double Hook Angling, and he's my fishing buddy. He's my I don't want to say he's my favorite child because he, you know, I like them all individually, but me and Gregory get along better than you know than me and Matt, or me and Timmy get along very well too. But Timmy's not with me all the time. Gregory, being autistic and nonverbal to most people, he does, you know, speak and have verbal skills, but he just chooses not to. He's very shy and timid. He's ornery as can be though, and he is my best fishing buddy, and I really love him, and we do a lot together. So Gregory is pretty much with me 24 hours a day. He's within 50 feet of me. So, but it is that time. So let me tie this jig real quick while he's finishing doing his thing. Oh, that is cute. Yeah, you can bring her over here as well since you put it on her.
Okay.
So that's kind of a hint of what he's got. But let me get this done real quick. He's still messing with the dog. I'm almost finished, Mama. I'm kind of slow today on jigs, guys. Usually I'll tie 12 or 15 during a show, and I've only done, this is my 10th one. So, like I said, my shoulders are sore. But anyways, y'all know what time it is. It's what you got, Gregory time. And I'm about done with this jig, Mr. Gregory. He's standing right here now. Rosie's at attention on the floor, and he's got Miss Ellie in his lap. So this is what I call the OG jig. So hopefully y'all can see that. Let me whip it off, Gregory. Whip it good. We'll run 5 or 6 on there and do a single knot. That'll hold pretty good. So get the vise out of your way so everybody can see you, and you're gonna have to come over here. So let me by you real quick. Or here, you sneak by me, that'll be easier. Too much stuff in the way. So you gotta get them, both of them there. There you go. So you got Ellie a vest, a neoprene vest, but he also got a camo vest. So put her down so you can show the other stuff. She'll be all right with the vest on. You got to get over here in camera view on both of these phones, son. So you got you another shirt. That's a real tree one, huh? Yeah, real tree. Another sun fishing shirt. Show them. No, you back up a little bit. Yeah, they can see that from there. Good job, buddy. What else you got in there? Oh my goodness. How many of those you need? Like sacks. Sacks of Hot Wheels. All kinds of cars, huh? Tim gave you a bunch of eyeballs earlier. All right. And then here's that vest, so you can see that it's a hunting vest and it's a reversible, so it's got the orange on the inside and the camo on the outside. So he paid $1 for this. How much you pay for the other one? $1? $5 for the other neoprene one? That's still not bad. How much was that shirt? Come back in camera view. How much was that shirt? Well, how much was the card? $3 a bag? $2 for that bag. That's a pretty good deal. So you spent all your chore money of the week, didn't you? All right, all right. Well, there you go, you guys. So, we're going to go, and we got a few things that we're going to do as a family real quick, and get some stuff done and cleaned up and situated, and got, looks like Matthew got one of them little games that it's a plug and play. So it's got Pac-Man and probably asteroids and some of the other stuff on there. So, but anyways, I do appreciate y'all. Catfish Dog said, nice haul, brother. Shirley said, nice haul. LG said, great job, Gregory. Thank you, LG. Good to see you in here, LG. I haven't seen you for a minute. Come in just in time to see Gregory's haul. And then Kansas Chad said, hey, LG. I'm kind of scrolling back to see what everybody said. So, but anyways, this is our show on Friday mornings. So, like I said, we've got a few things that we need to do this morning before the weekend's up. And stay tuned next Wednesday morning. I'm probably going to go live where we're going to be at, but there'll be some more info posted on Facebook about that this week. So we, like I said, we're doing some things with Bass Pro. So if you guys haven't noticed, I've been doing some promotional stuff for Bass Pro. I'm not getting paid for that, so I do want to say that first and foremost. But I really enjoy the Bass Pro products. I did buy a new Bass Pro Fish Eagle yesterday. It is a light action. I didn't have a light action. I had a medium light and a medium, and then a bait caster, as well as a 4-piece and a tube. So now I have a light action, and I'm going to put my Piscifun 500 Carbon X2 reel on it, and I'm gonna go slay some crappie and some bluegill with that thing. I probably won't use that rod at the least, just because the crappie get big enough. I don't want to stress that rod out. I specifically bought that rod for Eagle Lake over in Bel Air, Kansas, just part of Wichita. Excuse me. And I'm gonna go catch me some more shell crackers. And here in Kansas, we call them shellies. So yeah, everybody needs to spend at least one whole day at Bass Pro every month. Oh, he's got a model for you. Here, I'll back up out of the way. So there, she's modeling the camo. So she's like, why are you holding me, Gregory? So, but with that being said, I do appreciate each and every one of you. May God bless you in your daily life. And if you haven't found Jesus, I encourage you to check him out. So at least, let him touch your heart in one way or another. So y'all be blessed. Y'all go do something, go tie something, go be something. We're out of here.